So partnering is something that I always knew was there in the background of construction, and I had the opportunity to work with AGC of America for over 11 years. But not until I was given the responsibility of the awards programs, which included the Marvin M. Black Excellence in Partnering Awards, did I truly understand what partnering meant. From those initial stages, from the charters, from those commitments to partnering and to mutual respect and to communications and all that it really involved. And I now see such important correlations between the definition of partnering in the construction space and what partnering can be in almost any corporate, nonprofit, any collaborative environment requires partnering. And Sam has given me a real appreciation for calling it out, for giving it a name, for working within a partnering structure. Partnering that goes unspoken goes unrealized. And when you embrace it and you announce it and you speak partnering's name, it becomes so much more tangible to everyone involved. And now I have the opportunity to work with nonprofits, trade associations, membership associations, charities, and partnering is still woven into all that we do. And every project that begins with partnering, whether it's a fundraiser, whether it's an event, whether it's a scholarship initiative, everything that starts with those preliminary principles that can all be tied back to partnering, they always have a greater result. So I really had no appreciation for how expansive the power of partnering can be and how it should and could be woven into so many aspects of both professional and really personal life too. Absolutely. Well, as we said, I'm from Sacramento, born and raised. But after graduating undergrad at Davis, I went out on my own. I decided I was moving to the big capital city, not our capital city, but Washington, D.C. And I struck out and got an internship on Capitol Hill and convinced them after a free summer to pay me a salary. And I never really went back. It was an opportunity for me to see the power of unified voices. When people come together to make things happen, it's so amazing. It's so impressive, and I was really intrigued by that. That then led me to the association world. I've worked for the National Roofing Contractors Association. I worked for the Associated General Contractors of America, some other organizations here and there. But these mission-driven organizations that bring people together were really inspiring to me. I felt like I was working for the good guys and making the world a better place in my own little way. And in DC, where you do try to amplify people's voices to give them not only a say, but give them protection, give them opportunity. Washington, D.C., I know it gets a bad rap and it hasn't been doing a lot of great things lately. Washington, D.C. is a magical place. And in my 20s and 30s, I loved being a part of organizations that were helping their industry, helping the profession, helping those members and companies in those spaces to run better businesses, to hire more staff and employ more people, and to do their jobs the right way. And construction is where my heart is, because it's where I've spent most of my time. But those tenets of bringing people together to have a greater impact, to amplify the potential and the result is still powerful. It's why I love nonprofits. It's why I love associations, and why I now work as a management consultant, helping those organizations to reach their peak potential, to ensure their long-term relevance and to grow. The last 14 months have not been easy for a lot of organizations, period, but especially in the nonprofit space. So I take it upon myself. It's my mission every day to help nonprofit organizations reach their fullest potential and succeed in the advancing of that mission, whatever it may be for them. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm shocked that it's already May of 2021. And it makes me realize how quickly this year is going by. And in retrospect, 2020 felt like it took forever. It ground to a screeching halt because we were all so paralyzed with uncertainty. And the year, looking back, I'll say we probably fared better than we deserved. I mean, we were lucky enough to have our health and we were safe and we had a roof over our head and food in our stomachs. So we were thankful and just happy to have made it through. But it was an interesting time, not only of self-reflection, as work and business slowed down and then ramped up and then slowed down and ramped up, and there was no travel. It did provide some time for self-reflection. And of course, I have a young family, so my my fourth grader is doing school from the kitchen table from our laptop, and that has been a challenge. But more than anything else, it's allowed me to see the power to leverage humanity, the power to leverage your vulnerability. It's okay to say, you know what, things aren't going well. I'm not in a good place, or I'm scared. And that seems to be a little more acceptable of a conversation these days. And I hope that continues, because I have been so impressed and humbled by the friendships and the connections and the relationships that have not only stood up to 2022, but become stronger because of it. Right now for me, both personally and professionally, it comes down to leadership. It's something that I work on with my clients, and making sure the leaders within these organizations are engaged, are informed, and are put in a position to do their best work. And I have to hold myself to these same high standards. And as a solopreneur, sometimes that can become very challenging. You get in a rut, you allow yourself to take certain breaks or put certain things off, and maximizing that the impact of leadership is something that is important to me personally and professionally, especially now. Last year exposed a lot of weaknesses in our organizations, in our leadership structures, maybe even in our own, personalities. And I think it's important to take that vulnerability and that self-awareness and that organizational awareness and learn from that and map a new experience, map a new journey for your leaders, for those around you, and for yourself. Setting new goals, setting new standards, and holding not only those around you, but yourself accountable for that change. We have to listen. Being a leader and creating a leadership pipeline isn't about a job description. It's not about a big chair at the board table. It's about making people feel welcome. This isn't about inclusivity. This is about making people feel they belong to something. People will lead organizations and projects and households that they know they can have a positive impact on, where they know that they matter and what they can contribute matters. This is about seeing people as people and giving them a path of sincere relevance. No one wants to be a part of an organization that isn't accomplishing anything, or a part of a board that just sits around and complains about the past. To appeal to the future leader, you have to be the leaders that they want to emulate. And in this generational shift that we're going, that we're all dealing with, both in terms of talent and leadership, you have to demonstrate to the next group of leaders that you respect their opinions, that there's a place for them, and that you're willing to listen. And then what they want to accomplish can get done. The worst thing you can do is ask them their opinion and then do nothing. So yes, that leadership pipeline, it has to be addressed and it has to be cultivated. This is absolutely not about job descriptions and filling seats. It's about fostering and fulfilling people's passion for having a positive impact. Those are your future leaders, and they deserve your time. They deserve to be listened to, but not 20 years after serving, before they begin. It comes down to believing in yourself and having that confidence and not letting others control the perception you have of yourself. But I've always been one to fall back on my work ethic. I may not be the best or the smartest in every room, but I will absolutely be the hardest worker. That gave me a foundation. That gave me a core from which to build upon. And so I would probably tell her to let the little things go. Know that if you do work hard and you do the right thing and tell the truth, that things will work out. You don't have to stress about every little thing. But at the same time, now in my later years, I don't know what I'm supposed to say about my age, but I wish I had also kind of explored some other interests and hobbies. Not because my career path isn't the right one for me. I love what I do, but I look back and I wish I had tried different sports. I wish I had tried different instruments or traveled more. I wish I had been more youthful in my youth and not so quick to grow up. I wanted to be a grown-up from very early on. I turned my Easy Bake Oven into an office. I had like a stapler and some pens and paper and so I wanted to be a grown-up from a very early age. And now in retrospect, I wish I had, embraced my youth with a little more youthful, carefree, fun mindset than just wanting to get to that point of adulthood.